Hello dear students, welcome to today's episode. In this episode, we will discuss meaning, goals, need, importance and different ways to go about labor welfare and social security in India. I am Dr. Nidhi Mathur, PhD in Public Administration and teaching at Institute of Management Technology, Center for Distance Learning, Ghaziabad. So, let us begin our discussion on labor welfare and social security in India. International Labour Organization at its Asian Regional Conference defined labor welfare as the services, facilities and amenities that can be set up in or near workplaces to help the people who work there to do their jobs in a healthy, pleasant environment and to give them things that are good for their health and morale. Welfare includes all that is done for an employee's comfort or improvement over and above what they are paid. Welfare helps keep employees' morale and motivation high so that they stay with the company for a longer time. The welfare measures don't have to be only about money. They can be of any kind. Employee welfare includes keeping an eye on working conditions, creating industrial harmony through infrastructure for health and industrial relations, and giving workers and their families insurance against illness, accidents, and unemployment. Labor welfare is everything an employer does to make sure their workers have access to facilities and services in addition to their wages or salaries. There are goals of labor welfare. Number 1, to give the workers a better way of life and better health, to make the workers happy and contented, to relieve workers from getting tired at work and to improve their intellectual, cultural and material living conditions. The most important part of labor welfare measures are: labor welfare is a bunch of facilities, services and amenities that help workers improve their health, productivity, economic situation and social standing. Welfare measures are in addition to regular wages and other economic benefits that workers can get because of the law and collective bargaining. Welfare schemes for workers are flexible. From time to time, new measures are added to the ones that are already in place. Employers, the government, employees or any social or charitable organization can put in place welfare measures to help workers. The goal of labor welfare is to help workers grow so they can be a better part of the workforce. The whole point of welfare programs is to make workers productive, healthy, loyal and happy with their jobs. The goal of these measures is to improve workers' work lives and raise their living standards. Now let us discuss the benefits of these welfare measures. First, they improve workers' physical and mental health and help make the workplace a healthier place to be. Facilities like housing programs, healthcare benefits, and places for workers' families to learn and have fun help raise their living standards. This makes people pay more attention to their jobs, which makes them more productive. Number 3, by providing welfare facilities, employers get a stable workforce, workers are interested in their jobs and do their work with a sense of participation and involvement. Welfare measures make an organization more productive and help keep peace in the workplace by fostering good working relationships. Welfare policies do a better job of reducing social problems like drug abuse that are common among workers. Employee welfare benefit schemes. Organizations give their employees facilities for their well-being to keep them motivated. There are two types of programs for taking care of employees. Number 1, programs that are statutory, that is, required by law, and the other, those that are non-statutory. The statutory schemes are those that are required by law for an organization to offer in order to protect the health and safety of its employees. These includes provisions provided in industrial acts like Factories Act 1948, Dock Workers Act 1986, Mines Act 1962. The non-statutory schemes vary from organization to organization and industry to industry. Some of the laws in India that protect workers are Factories Act 1948, the Maternity Benefit Act 1961, the Employee State Insurance Act 1948, the Employees Provident Funds and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952, the Bonus Payment Act of 1965. Now let us discuss about the benefits of these statutory welfare programs, and they are: number 1, drinking water. All places of work should have safe, clean water to drink. Number 2, places to sit. Every organization, but especially factories, need to have good seating options. Number 3, first aid supplies. First aid supplies should be available and easy to get to so that if an employee has a minor accident, they can get the first medication they need. Number 4, latrines and urinals. There should be enough toilets and urinals in the office and factory, and they should be kept clean. Number 5, canteen facilities. The employer must provide cafeterias or canteens so that employees can eat food that is clean and healthy. Number 6, spittoons. Every place of work such as warehouses, stores, the dock area and offices should have spittoons in easy to reach places and keep them clean. Number 7, lighting. Employees should have enough and good lighting so that they can work safely during night shifts. Number 8, places to wash. There are bathrooms, wash basins with taps and taps on the standpipes in the port area near the workplaces. Number 9, changing rooms. The factory and office buildings should have enough changing rooms for workers to change their clothes. Workers are also given enough lockers to store their clothes and other things. Number 10, restrooms. The workers have access to sufficient number of restrooms with water, sinks, toilets, bathrooms, etc. Number 11, maternity and adoption leave. Employees can take time off for maternity or adoption. Several companies have also started giving paternity leave. Number 12, Mediclaim Insurance Scheme. This insurance scheme makes sure that employees have enough insurance to cover the cost of being hospitalized because of illness, disease, injury or pregnancy. Number 13, Sexual Harassment Policy. If an employee is harassed in any way, there are rules about what to do and how to protect the harassed employees. The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 provide guidelines for the same. Now let us talk about the benefits that are there for non-statutory ones. Among the many non-statutory welfare benefits, the following may be offered. Number 1, personal health care, which includes regular medical checkups. Some companies offer in-depth health checks. Number 2, flexi time. The main goal of the flexi time policy is to give employees the chance to work on their own time. Flexible work schedules are proposed by employees and approved by management in order to meet business obligations and meet the personal needs of the employees. Number 3, employee assistance programs. Different programs like an outside counseling service are set up so that employees or members of their immediate family can get counseling on a variety of issues. Number 4, employee referral program. Employee referral programs are used by a number of companies to encourage employees to recommend friends and family members for jobs with the company. Now let us discuss about the approaches to labor welfare. The approaches to employee welfare are the ideas and beliefs of the agencies that offer welfare services. Some agencies help people in need out of a sense of religious duty, others out of a sense of philanthropic duty, and so on. The different approaches to workers' welfare show how and what the agencies doing welfare work think and feel. Welfare services can be given for religious, charitable or other reasons. Also, the different ways to look at worker welfare show how the idea of welfare has changed over time. In the past, the government had to force the owner of an industrial business to give their workers basic things like canteens, restrooms, drinking water, good working condition, etc. This was necessary because the employer thought it was right to take advantage of workers and treat them unfairly. But times have changed, and so has the way we think about welfare. Today, many forward-thinking managers provide welfare facilities out of their own free will and with a lot of enthusiasm. In reality, welfare services are not just for workers, they are now used by everyone in the society as a whole. In other words, social welfare is now a part of labor welfare. For example, Tata Steel works in Jamshedpur, spends rupees 10 crores on social welfare each year. Brook Bond has set up a free animal welfare clinic at Gevrai in Aurangabad. A qualified veterinary doctor is in charge of the clinic. Jindal Aluminium in Bangalore runs a public school and the well-known Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences Center for the public's benefit. The Jindal Scholarship Trust has been set up and it gives scholarships to students who need them. The Hindustan Machine Tools has a big playground and a community hall that can be rented out for events and competitions. The management, the workers and the general public would all be benefited from a study of the ways to help workers. You should learn about approaches because without them, you don't know enough about the subject. Knowing about the approaches also helps the managers and the workers get a better view of welfare work. So, here are the methods with a short description of each. The policing theory of labor welfare, the religion theory of labor welfare, the philanthropic theory of labor welfare, the paternalistic theory of labor welfare, the placating theory of labor welfare, the public relations theory of labor welfare, the functional theory of labor welfare, the social theory of labor welfare. So, now we will discuss about each of these approaches. Theory of policing. According to this point of view, the factory and other industrial workplaces give owners and managers of capital a lot of chances to take advantage of workers in an unfair way. This could be done by making workers work long hours, paying them low wages, keeping the workplace dirty, not caring about safety and health, and not providing basic amenities like drinking water, toilets, restrooms, and canteens. Obviously, a welfare state can't just sit back and watch this endless exploitation. It makes laws that require managers to give workers the facilities they need to do their job. In short, the state acts as a policeman and forces managers of industrial establishments to provide welfare facilities. Those who don't comply are punished. This is the policing theory of labor welfare. Now let us talk about religion theory. The religion theory has two meanings, the investment and the atonement. The religion theory's investment part says that the results of our actions today will be seen tomorrow. Any act, good or bad, is seen as an investment because of this. Some employers plan and organize canteens and creches because they believe this is a part of religious duty. The atonement part of the religion theory means that a person's problems now are due to the sins he or she has done in the past. He or she should start doing good things right away to make up for their mistakes. Next is theory of giving, that is philanthropy, which means caring about people. The philanthropic theory of labor welfare says that employers provide good working conditions, creches and canteens because they care about their workers and want to help them. In social welfare, the philanthropic theory is more common. Philanthropic acts include building student dorms, providing clean water, helping disabled people get back on their feet, giving money to religious and educational groups, and so on. The next is theory of paternalism. The paternalistic theory of worker welfare, which is also called the trusteeship theory, says that the industrialist or employer is in charge of the entire industrial estate and all of the profits that come from it. He or she does not own all of the property that he or she can use or abuse however he or she wants. He or she keeps it for his or her own use, but also for the good of the employees, if not for the whole society. Workers can't take care of themselves because they don't make enough money, don't have enough education, and so on. So, they are like minors and their employers should take care of them with money they control. The trusteeship is not real and legal, but it is moral and therefore not less than real. The other one is placating theory. This theory is based on the idea that appeasement works when workers are organized and aggressive. Welfare measures can bring peace. Workers are like kids who don't know everything. As candy calms down a crying child, welfare work should make workers happy. The other one is theory of public relations. This theory says that welfare activities are offered to make a good impression on both workers and the public, but especially on the public. Clean and safe working conditions, a good canteen, a creche and other amenities make a good impression on the workers, visitors and the public. Some employers are proud to show their guests around the plant to show how well their welfare activities are run. The other one is a functional theory. The functional theory, which is also called the efficiency theory of labor welfare, says that workers are given welfare facilities to make them more productive. If workers are fed well, given good clothes, treated nicely and work in a pleasant environment, they will do a good job. Welfare work is a way to protect, keep and improve the quality of work. The other theory is the social theory. The social responsibility of a business has become very important in recent years. The social theory says that a factory has a moral responsibility to improve society as well as the lives of its workers. As was already stated, labor welfare is slowly turning into social welfare. Now, let us talk about the other topic, which is social security, and dig deeper into what it means. Social security is the safety net that society provides for its members through the right organizations when they face certain risk. The term is also sometimes used to refer to a large system of help for all people who, for whatever reason, can't take care of themselves. Social security is based on the idea that everyone should be treated with respect and that society should be fair. Social security measures are based on the idea that a citizen who has helped his or her country and is likely to do so should be protected against certain risk. So, what does social security mean? Authorities have given different meanings to the word social security. So, there is no one definition that everyone agrees upon. There are two main ways of thinking about this issue. One is represented by International Labour Organization, which says that social security should not be used to protect a person's income from loss or reduction. Another way to look at social security is in a broader way. In this way, social security is a set of policies and institutions that help people get and keep a decent standard of living. This kind of social security is called preventive or promotional. A few explanations of this. Social security is the safety net that society provides for its members through the right organizations when they face certain risk. From a historical point of view, the United States Social Security Act of 1935 was the first time that the term social security was used. In the United States, the term is used to describe programs like Medicare, medical aid and health insurance that are run by the federal government. In England, the term social security refers to both social insurance and social assistance. It includes the National Insurance Scheme, the Industrial Injury Scheme and the Social Assistance Scheme, all of which give workers extra benefits. The International Labour Organization says that social security is the guarantee that society gives to its members through proper organization against certain risks to which they are exposed. These risks include sickness, childbirth, disability, old age and death. These are basically contingencies that people with little money and few resources can't handle on their own or even with the help of their co-workers. Because of how these events happen, they make it hard for the working class to support themselves and their dependents in a healthy and decent way. Lexicon Universal Encyclopedia says that the term Social Security means public programs designed to protect workers and their families from income losses caused by old age, illness, unemployment, or death. The term is also sometimes used to refer to a large system of help for all people who, for whatever reason, can't take care of themselves. Lord Beveridge said that Social Security is an attack on 5 giants: want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. This idea has to do with social justice and equality. International Labour Organization defines Social Security as a protection society gives its members against certain risks through appropriate organization. National Commission on Labour defines the idea of Social Security. In 1969, the National Commission on Labour came up with the definition of Social Security, which is Social Security is based on the idea that people in a community should be protected from social risks by the community as a whole. This is because individuals' private resources are rarely enough to cover these risks. The wages given to employees, especially those at lower levels, may not be enough to cover their needs such as Medicare, schooling for their children, and maternity care for women and employees' wives. So, the government of different countries require employers to protect their workers from social problems. Besides that, people also have social security from their governments. Here are the most important things about social security programs. Number 1, social security schemes help and ensure workers who have to face life's challenges without a steady paycheck because of something that happened in their lives. Number 2, these plans are put into action by the country's laws. Number 3, they usually help employees who are at risk of losing their economic and social security. People in the society that they are a part of protect them in this way. Number 4, these schemes look at a wider range of things. They not only help employees who have been hurt by unforeseen events right away, but they also give other peace of mind who may face the same problems in the future. So, social security, why it is important for both workers and society? Social security basically has to do with high ideals of human dignity and social justice. Social security is very important for both the workers and society as a whole. Number 1, social security is the main way that society achieves economic and social justice and equality. Number 2, social security is meant to protect workers in case of an emergency. The employees feel psychologically safe because of this help. This makes them better at their jobs. Number 3, spending money on social security is the best way to get a good return. Maintenance of the workforce is very important for both the organization and the country as a whole. Number 4, social security is an important part of public policy in a welfare state. When social security is not taken into account enough in public policy, the government is unable to keep equality and justice in place. Measures for social security. The most important job of a government is to make sure that its citizens have social security. The Constitution of India calls India a democratic and socialist republic because it is a welfare state. In our Constitution, the parts that talk about basic rights and the guiding principles of state policy makes it clear that the government cares about and is committed to the rights of the citizens to enjoy social security. Our country is a democratic one, which means that everyone has the same rights and responsibilities. We are also a socialist state that takes care of and protects the social security of all its citizens without exception. In general, the idea behind social security is that the central and state governments will be responsible for making sure that all of their citizens have a minimum standard of material welfare that is broad enough to cover all possible life situations. There may not be a country in the world that does not care about social security, but different governments in different countries and offer different kinds of social security. Benefits for social security in India. As the constitution says, India is a welfare state. Article 41 of the Indian constitution says the state shall, within the limits of its economic capacity and development, make effective provisions for the right to work, to education and to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness, disability and other unmet needs. So, social security is a big step towards the goal of a welfare state because it makes living and working conditions better and protect people from all kind of risks. India has laws that provide for social security benefits, and these laws are Workmen's Compensation Act of 1923, which says that if an employee gets hurt on the job or loses money because of an accident, his or her employer must pay compensation. The other one is the Employees State Insurance Act of 1948, which requires employers to give sickness benefits, maternity benefits to women employees, disability benefits, benefits for dependents, funeral benefits and medical benefits. The other one is the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 1952, which requires the employer to give the employee a provident fund deposit linked insurance and other benefits. The next one is the Maternity Benefit Act of 1961, helps pay for medical care, maternity leave and other things. The next one is the Payment of Gratuity Act of 1952. It says that people should get a gratuity when they retire. India's laws about social security have problems like duplication. For instance, maternity benefits are covered by the Employees State Insurance Act and the Maternity Benefit Act. Also, different administrative bodies carries out the law, which can lead to overlapping. So, in 1957 and 1958, the Indian government set up a group called the Study Group to look into ways to improve India's social security system. This integrated social security plan should cover medical care, insurance against sickness, maternity benefits, unemployment insurance, work-related injuries and an old age pension. This plan should be carried out by a single agency so that there is no overlap or duplication. India is a welfare state and social security is a big part of how the government runs things. In India, there are two main ways to get social security benefits. Number one, social insurance. Number two, social assistance, social insurance. In this plan, workers contribute to a common fund on a regular basis on their nominal paying capacity. Part of the money comes from employers and the state. Group insurance and provident funds are examples of this type. The other one is social assistance. Under this, the government pays for all of the cost of the benefits without any help from workers or employers. But benefits are paid after figuring out how much money the recipient has. One example is the old age pension. So, to conclude, we have discussed in this episode labor welfare, its meaning, benefits and approaches. The employee welfare schemes can be classified into two categories, that is statutory and non-statutory welfare schemes. We have understood that organizations provide welfare facilities to their employees to keep their motivation level high. The idea of social security is based on the ideas of respect for human dignity and fairness in society and the economy. The idea is also based on the desire to protect the citizens, which is good for the country as a whole from certain risk of life to which they are exposed in their work or as a result of it. This is the end of this episode. In the next one, we will talk about what the Indian government is doing to make sure workers have access to social security and welfare benefits. Hope you have understood this. We will meet you in the part 2 of this episode. Till then, thank you and goodbye.